Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about the Chanel Fall 2020 collection. I am excited. I'm always excited for new Chanel releases. I mean, they're always so beautiful. And there's been a lot of talk about this one because of the color range and the color scheme, and we are going to get into it. So in order for me to showcase and demo everything in this Fall 2020 collection that I purchased, I did two looks. This is actually look number 2, but for look number 1, what I did was I focused on this quad, which is the 364 Candeur et Seduction. And with that look, I used the Psyche number 959 waterproof eyeliner, and I also lip swatched for you this Rouge Coco Flash in 134. It is called Lust. And then I also applied this Rouge Coco lipstick in 494 Attraction. So that is look number 1. And for look number 2, which is what I have on my face, I focused on this quad, which is quad number 362 Candeur et Provocation, and also used Romance 955 waterproof eyeliner, and then I used the 132 Rouge Coco Flash in Flushed. So before we get into the demos, which will be at the end of this video, and please check down below my description box for timestamps if you want to jump around, but what we're going to do is some swatches. We're going to do some comparison swatches of the eyeshadow quads, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on this collection. So let's go ahead and do all of the swatching. Let's get that out of the way. So first, let's take a closer look at this eyeshadow quad, which is 364, and you'll notice that we've got one metallic shade in there and then 3 matte shades. Next for quad number 362, and in this quad we have 3 satin shades and 1 matte shade. Next up are the 2 waterproof eyeliners here. First we have shade number 955 Romance. And this is such a beautiful eyeliner because there's a little metallic glint in there. This looks like a mix between a rosé and a champagne tone. It's very beautiful. And the other eyeliner is shade 959 Psyche. And this is a deeper shade, and there's definitely a little bit of red in there, but there's a really nice plum undertone to this eyeliner, and it works very well with the 2 quads. So those are the 2 eyeliners, and then I purchased 3 new lip products. So there are 2 new Rouge Coco Flashes. The first one is 132 Flushed, and it is this beautiful peach shade. It has just a hint of a metallic sheen to it, and it just adds a little bit more reflection to the lips on top of the glossy finish that the Rouge Coco Flash has. And the second one is number 134 Lust, and this is a nice rich brown shade, and it's just very wearable because of the formula of this Rouge Coco Flash. It is fairly sheer, it's easy to wear, it's so moisturizing on the lips, and it has that pretty glossy, healthy kind of appearance to it. So I really love this Lust shade. It's great for fall. And then finally, I have a Rouge Coco lipstick in 494 Attraction. And this is the cream satin lipstick formula from Chanel. This is another very deep, rich color. Perfect for fall. And if you watch the runway show for Chanel for fall and holiday, it is a very rich kind of Baroque, velvety kind of collection, and this lipstick is a perfect pairing with it. And you'll see in my demo when I apply it, but it has a little bit more of a red undertone versus this Lust Rouge Coco Flash shade, which is really more of kind of a pure brown. This is a very rich kind of warm burgundy shade. It's really stunning. So my thoughts on this collection. I think it is gorgeous, and I think the pictures that we've been seeing, on Instagram and even on the Chanel site or wherever we've been catching kind of preview pics, I think what we're seeing is another red kind of quad from Lucia Pica. But what these pictures aren't telling us is that these shades in both of these quads have a very purpley pinky undertone, maybe except for this one, but this shade is kind of an orangey rust shade. So again, this is a quad number 364 Candeur et Seduction. And when I first saw pictures of this, I thought for sure these were just 2 red shades, but this is actually more of a hot pink. And the same goes for this quad. I took a look at it and I thought, oh, we have another red shade. What is going on? But this shade is actually the one that I have on the outer corner of my lid, and you can see I think you can see pretty clearly that it's a pink. It really is not a red at all. So when I opened up these quads, I was really surprised that I didn't really see any red at all. What I saw were pinks and purples and tones that were close to red, but not red at all. So why don't I go ahead and just show you some comparison swatches. So what I did was I swatched the two new quads over on the left hand side, and then I did some comparison swatches. So the first one is to the one that I think was probably the most requested, which is the 268 Candeur Experience quad. And this quad has this one shade at the bottom, and this one shade is definitely more of a red, but it has a lot of warmth to it, and all the other shades in this palette are rich browns, which I think makes this palette very, very wearable, and I really liked this pop of red in here. This came out quite some time ago, 2016. But you can see in these comparison swatches that these two new quads are much pinker in tone, and they're just a lot brighter and a lot less neutral. So that's the first comparison. The second comparison I made was to, I cannot pronounce the name of this quad, but here it is on the screen for you. This is another one. I feel like this one is a muted version of the Candeur Experience, which I just showed you. And again, this tone down here it's very, very red. It's very just sort of straight up red. And again, comparing these two new quads with this quad, you can see how pink it is, especially in comparison to this red shade. And then finally, you know, there's not a lot of similarity to this quad, but I thought I would just go ahead and compare it since it does have that red shade in there. So this one is called Eclat Enigmatic. So that is this one. And here are the comparison swatches. Again, the two new quads are on the left-hand side, and this new one is on the right-hand side. And again, you can see that this shade in here is pretty kind of just straight up red, while these new ones definitely have more of a pinky tone to them. And then the last thought I just want to pass along to you guys, because I know you probably want to just jump into the demo. Again, when I looked at pictures on Instagram or even on the Chanel site, I thought that these quads just looked so similar, and like, why would they put out two quads at the same time that were so similar? But they really are quite different. This one, which if I had to choose one, it would be this quad. This is number 362, the Provocation one. This one is so gorgeous. These two shades up here, the two lighter shades, have a little bit of a duochrome to them. They have a little bit of like this metallic shift to them. It's almost like an adult sort of mature skin friendly version of duochrome, because they're not overly shiny. They just add a little bit of extra interest to the eye look. And then this shade down here is like a beautiful satin shade, and then we have this matte. But you get a really pretty soft look. It's almost a great kind of like fall transition kind of quad. So we're not going like full deep drama like we like to do for fall and winter, at least I like to do for fall and winter. This one has like a little bit of a softer look to it, and I think, you know, it's probably just a little bit more wearable. It's a little bit more everyday, and I really enjoy this one. This quad, this Seduction quad, I really didn't know what to expect, and I really, you know, didn't know how to use it. And again, you'll see it in my demo, because all three of these matte shades are just, you know, deep and bold, and none of them were transitions, and I really didn't know like what shade to go with, but I did go with this one kind of all over my lid, and then I kind of blend these two in there, and I use this along my lower lash line. But this one, I think this shade tricked me. When I saw this quad and I saw this shade in there, I thought, oh, okay, this is kind of like, in my mind, this is kind of like the lighter quad, but this one I think is definitely more medium to deep skin tone friendly because of these shades in here. And then of course this shade would just pop beautifully on a deeper skin tone. But these three shades, these three matte shades, are really deep and rich, and I think would work really, really well on a deeper skin tone, deeper than mine at least. And that's not to say this one won't work on medium to deeper skin tones, but this quad just overall is just kind of softer. It's softer in feel, it's softer in like look and everything, and I just love this one. And then these eyeliners are great. I really, really love 955. So 959 Psyche is a deep colored eyeliner. It has a little bit of plum to it, so it is very, very pretty. Is it exceptionally special in any way? Not really. I do think that 955 in Romance is very, very pretty. I really like the metallic sheen to it. I really like this kind of like rose gold kind of look to it. And while this doesn't serve like the typical eyeliner purpose, at least not for me, where I like a deeper one, which is when this one comes in handy actually, to like really deepen up my lash line. This is just really nice. I used it in my waterline just to add a little bit of brightness. It's really a lot of fun. It's a little bit different, and I was afraid that it was going to give me that kind of like sick look, but I think there's enough of a sheen to it, and it's like peachy enough. It's not just kind of like red. It really works pretty well on the waterline. So I'm really loving this. And the lipsticks are gorgeous. You guys know I love these Rouge Coco Flashes, and these two shades are just stunning. This peach one is so pretty because it has that metallic sheen to it. I love it. And then this brown color is like my jam when it comes to fall shades, and I love that they did this color in the Rouge Coco Flash formula, which is just a lot easier to wear. This, if you're more of a cream lipstick fan, this is a great dramatic lip color. This is absolutely stunning. Oh, what I do want to mention, the Rouge Coco Flashes, they don't have any fragrance. This has a very slight kind of like floral fragrance to it. Not my favorite, but it is very, very slight. And when I get it on my lips, I smell it when I apply it, but then I don't smell it again. But I did want to mention that. All right, and in terms of prices, all the prices are on par for Chanel. Nothing really stuck out. I will have all the pricing and everything and links listed down below in my description box if you are interested, along with everything else that's on my face, the brushes that I use in my demo. And speaking of, let's go ahead and jump into my look number 1 demo. All right, so for this quad, which is the 364 Candeur et Seduction, I am really not sure how I'm going to use this because this shade, which is a great accent shade, is so much lighter than the rest of these. This is really a much deeper, richer quad than I thought when I first looked at these pictures. So I'm gonna take it slow. I am going to grab like a very fluffy kind of like light application brush, which is this Chikuhodo Z5 brush. And I think I'm gonna go into this shade here in the bottom right-hand corner and just kind of sweep that all over my lid. At least start from the inner corner and see how far I get. All right, so we're just starting light. I just added that to like the inner portion of my lid, and I just kind of swept it over the center of my lid, but left like the outer portion of my lid free because I want to go in with this shade here and just use that on my outer corner and kind of blend it in. So I want to use a very fluffy blender brush. So I've got my Esam G34 brush here, and I'm going to go into this top left-hand shade. And again, I'm just going to go in lightly. And I'm just going to buff that into the outer corner and then bring it over the center of my lid. And now I'm going to take a very chubby kind of liner brush. This is a Refer brush. I don't know the number of this, but I will reference it down below in my description box if you're interested. And I'm going to go into this lower right-hand corner shade, which has a little bit more of like an orange tinge to it. And I'm just going to drag this underneath my lash line. And then last but not least, I'm going to take this Esam W19 brush. This is a very teeny tiny kind of like flat shader brush. And I'm going to go into this shimmery shade in the top right-hand corner. I'm going to add this to the inner corner. And for this eye look, I'm going to use the Stilo U waterproof long-lasting eyeliner in Psyche. This is number 959, and this is the one that's a little bit deeper. So I am going to tightline with this and also add it to my waterline. All right, so I'm just gonna curl my eyelashes, apply some mascara, and then we'll be right back to apply these new Chanel lipsticks. So I'm gonna go ahead and try the Rouge Coco Flash in 134 Lust. Oh my God, I love this. You guys know I love like brown lip colors for the fall. And this is so great in the Rouge Coco Flash formula because it's not too dramatic. I mean, it's a brown lipstick, so there's gonna be a little bit of drama to it, but it's not too dramatic. And this formula, as you guys know, I love. It's so comfortable. It's so easy to wear. Ooh, I love this. But let's go ahead and try on Attraction, which is in the Rouge Coco formula, which is like their cream lipstick. So it's gonna be a lot more opaque than this one. All right, there is kind of a shoddy application of Attraction. Another really beautiful, rich, perfect for the fall, winter time type of color. This shade in the Rouge Coco Flash is definitely more brown. This one I feel like has a lot more red, almost a little bit of purple undertone. So I do think it goes very, very nicely with the eye look, but it is definitely a bolder look, and it is definitely more of a commitment than a Rouge Coco Flash, which is, you know, more of like a sheer formula. So this is what we have for look number 1. Let's go ahead and take a look at look number 2. So for look number 2, we're going to be focusing on this quad, which is, sorry, it's upside down, number 362, Candeur et Provocation. So I am going to use my Chikuhodo Z5 again, and I'm going to go into this light shade up here on the left-hand corner, and I'm going to pretty much start the same way I started look number 1, where I'm going to brush this all over my lid, and I'm going to start from the inner corner and work my way over towards the center. Okay, so I just spot cleaned my Z5 brush with like one of those no rinse brush cleaners, and it's not completely dry, so I'm going to go in with a different brush. I've got my Synergy Worker 1 brush. This color is so pretty. It's like the color of rosé. It's really, really gorgeous. All right, I'm just gonna flip this brush around, and I'm gonna go into this shade here, which is the top right-hand corner. Start from like the center of my lid and brush it out over the outer corner and blend the two shades together. These two colors are so pretty. So I'm gonna grab my very fluffy blender brush, this is my Esom G34, and I'm gonna go into this brown matte shade, and I'm gonna use this very, very lightly, and just use that to help transition the shades up top here. Yeah, that looks like a nice blend up there. I am in love with those two shades, and this transition shade worked out perfectly. I thought maybe it was going to be a little bit too dark, but that was great. Okay, I'm going to go in with my Esom W19 brush and go into this shade, bottom left-hand corner, and just drag this over my lash line along the bottom too. All right, so that's it for the eyeshadow quad. I'm going to move over to the eyeliner, and I'm going to use color Romance. It's number 955, and this is just such a beautiful match to these two shades up here because it has like that metallic kind of like rose gold sheen to it. So I'm going to just line my waterline with this pencil. All right, so a little brightening effect in the waterline. I hope you guys can see it. But what I'm gonna do, because when it comes to tight lining or my upper waterline, I like to use a pencil that's a little bit darker or deeper. I think that's the only thing that's really effective up there. So I'm gonna go back to this 959 Psyche liner that I used in look number 1. Add that to my upper waterline. All right, so I'm going to curl my lashes, and I'll be right back to put on the other Rouge Coco Flash. All right, mascara is on, and now I'm gonna apply this Rouge Coco Flash. It is in the shade Flushed. It's number 132, and this is just, oh, it's so pretty. It has like a little bit of a gold glint in it. All right, look number 2, all done. So we have covered all of the new fall 2020 products that I have purchased and received so far. We're still waiting on that one multi-use stick, but I will definitely be playing with that once I get that in. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe down below. I would love that, and I will see you in my next video.